I feel like I'm Chapo. I feel like I'm Chapo. With all these shooters, I'm the king of me body.
This is the new face of organized crime, and he's the godfather.
I'm a cocaine cowboy, but I'm living in Georgia.
In any community that has the availability of cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, dangerous drugs, designer drugs, you can directly or indirectly connect it to Chapo.
Joaquin Guzman Loera, better known as El Chapo or Shorty, is officially the world's most powerful drug trafficker. Short man, big title.
Rise to power. By his late 20s, the quiet but savvy Guzman was supervising logistics for another drug kingpin, Miguel Angel Felix Gallardo, founder of the Guadalajara cartel. Guzman kept a low profile, but when his boss was eventually arrested for the 1985 murder of an American Drug Enforcement Administration (DEA) agent, he quickly emerged as one of the new faces of the Mexican drug world. Sinaloa Drug Cartel. Inheriting some of his former boss territory, Guzman founded his own cartel, known as Sinaloa, in 1989. By the early 1990s, Guzman was on the radar of the DEA and FBI and was considered one of Mexico's most powerful and dangerous drug traffickers. Under Guzman's direction, it took control of the cocaine trade extending from South America to the United States. Part of the success stemmed from Sinaloa's creative smuggling methods, most notably a series of air-conditioned tunnels that ran under the Mexican-U.S. border. Another method involved hiding cocaine powder inside fire extinguishers and cans that were labeled chili peppers. In addition to cocaine, Sinaloa trafficked heroin, marijuana, and methamphetamine into the U.S. and beyond. Eventually, the cartel's tentacles touched 5 continents and grew to be the biggest drug operation in the world. Guzman coupled that success with serious muscle. He established gangs with names such as Los Chachos, Los Texas, Los Lobos and Los Negros to protect his empire. Over the years, Guzman's men have been accused of committing more than 1,000 murders throughout Mexico, the casualties including both incompetent henchmen and rival bosses. Arrests and escapes. In 1993, Guatemalan authorities arrested Guzman and extradited him to Mexico, where he was convicted and sentenced to a maximum security prison for 20 years. Even behind bars, Guzman maintained his power. Through bribes he arranged for conjugal visits and was largely allowed to run his drug operation. His legend grew in 2001 when, with the help of bribed prison guards, he escaped prison via a laundry cart. A federal investigation led to the arrest of 71 prison employees, including the warden. In 2009, Sinaloa was reportedly pulling in $3 billion annually, putting Guzman's net worth at around $1 billion. That earned him the number 701 ranking on the Forbes list of the world's richest people. Guzman quickly became the number 1 drug target of the U.S. government, which offered a $5 million reward for information that led to his arrest. In 2012, after a long manhunt, in February 2014, Guzman was finally apprehended in a hotel in the Pacific Beach town of Mazatlan, Mexico. Declining requests by American officials to have Guzman extradited to the United States, Mexican President Enrique Pena Nieto vowed that Guzman wouldn't escape again. It would be more than regrettable, Pena Nieto said at the time. It would be unforgivable for the government not to take the precautions to ensure that what happened last time would not be repeated. Yet, less than 18 months later, Guzman orchestrated a second daring flight from prison in July 2015. For this escape, Guzman slipped through an opening in his cell's shower section, made his way down a 30-foot ladder, and then traveled through a tunnel network that connected his cell to a house that was still under construction about a mile away. Around that same time, unbeknownst to the rest of the world, he conducted a secret interview with American actor Sean Penn. Guzman wanted to make a movie about his life and managed to connect to Penn via Mexican actress Kate Del Castillo. Recaptured, extradited to the United States. On January 8, 2016, Pena Nieto announced on Twitter that Mexican authorities had recaptured Guzman after a shootout earlier that morning in the city of Los Mochis. Mission accomplished, the president wrote. We have him. The drug lord's apprehension came one day before his interview with Penn was published on Rolling Stone's website. It was unclear whether his communication with the actor contributed to his capture. Guzman was held near the U.S. border in Juarez, Mexico. In October 2016, Vicente Bermudez Zacharias, the judge presiding over Guzman's case, was murdered near his home. Fearing a third escape, in January 2017, the Mexican government extradited Guzman to the United States to face drug trafficking and other charges. The following day Guzman appeared in U.S. federal court in Brooklyn, New York, and pleaded not guilty to over a dozen charges. On February 12, 2019, following more than 200 hours of testimony from 56 witnesses, El Chapo was found guilty, then sentenced El Chapo to life in prison plus 30 years, along with ordering him to pay $12.6 billion in restitution.